All right. Well, welcome again. Thanks for joining us for our third installment of our 6-week Body Positive Yoga program. We are so excited to offer this program and to have local yoga instructor Kirsten Johnson with us today. And we'll get to her in just a moment. But first, I wanted to mention a couple of things. Today's session will be recorded and shared on our YouTube page so that you can watch it later or share it with a friend. And also make sure to stick around until after the demonstration for a book talk on a title from our collection related to this week's yoga theme. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to our instructor Kirsten. So Kirsten, go ahead and take it away.
Hey, welcome everyone. How are y'all? Yay, welcome to Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcoming you to this practice. So glad to be here and so thankful to be here with Zach Library and you. So this is a body positive yoga, and what we'll be talking about in today's class is truth. So if you came for last week, we talked about self-love and how that shows up in our practice, and today we'll talk about truthfulness. And so with weaving in all of these 8 limbs of yoga, truth, what does that mean? And so I have a book that I've been using for the framework. I just took off my glasses. Truthfulness, I need glasses to see. In regards to truthfulness, so this is the limb of Satya, or truthfulness. And it says, a quote by Carl Jung, "What is true at one time for us, at some point no longer serves us, and eventually becomes a lie." He understood that truth changes over time. So how does that show up for you? What is true at one point may not be true at another point, whether it be in your job, on your relationship, in your emotional, spiritual, whatever it is, truth all changes. We'll explore a little bit what that means as we move and practice on the mat. So I have options that I'll offer. Feel free to take what applies, let the rest fly. If it doesn't apply to you, maybe you try it on and maybe you like it and maybe you don't. Everyone is on mute, so you can make as much sound and make as much options as you want. And I'll also, one other thing is be offering, we'll start off on the mat or on the ground, and then when we get to standing, I'll offer a chair option or standing option. So if you want to grab a chair, a folding chair works really well. But yeah, it's all about what holds true for you. And remember, truth changes over time. So what's true on one side may be different from the opposite side. Ready? Okay, let's get started. So we're actually going to get started today, like I said, on the mat. And I would invite you to come and find just a restful place where you can come lying with your back on the mat. We're going to start off in a shape called Constructive Rest. So I'm going to come all the way down to the mat, bend my knees, have the feet come apart and the knees not together. And here's where we'll start to explore what is true, what is present, what applies to you. So let's start with this with our breath. Taking a breath in, and then just let it go. Sometimes it feels good to let's release all of that with sound. So just come into, how did you show up today? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer, just what's feeling into your body, feeling into your breath and making that connection. And then start to just make that connection with your breath, inhale and exhale. Maybe scanning your body, noticing how does it feel. Maybe you notice that connection of the breath in as your belly and chest and heart and lungs expand, and then it all collapses in. Making that connection with the breath that it comes in through the nose, out through the nose. All this truth being present with the breath and this moment. Breathe here. start to scan. Notice if you can, on the breath in, really lengthen and open up, taking in all that inhale, all that energy, and the breath out. So a little bit more about truth and how it shows up just on your practice in the back. For me, my truth is I thought yoga was all about headstands and pretzel poses and doing all that fancy smancy stuff. And the honest truth is yoga means connection or yoke. So we'll find this connection with the breath. And then in the breath, we'll find a connection to how does it feel when we move through some of these poses, giving you some options to explore what holds true. And then remember, when we're going through this being kind, offering that self-love of ahimsa, the first practice we learned last week, of maybe if you find your truth is you have a pain, a twinge, a sting, maybe that's not true for you. Maybe there's an option that works better. So instead of referring to it as my good side, my bad side, let's say maybe this is the side that I need to show compassion, show love, maybe have some support with a prop. All of these things still can be true. So following your breath, following this connection, we'll start to move from here. Okay? Gently, when you're ready, bring both knees in, give yourself a hug, starting with that love of self for showing up, appreciating this body, the truth of just this moment right here. Move from side to side. We're just warming up. If you want to give your love to some ankles and your toes, go ahead and just circle them in one direction. Move it out into the other direction. There you go. Okay, let's explore. Let's the left foot come down to the mat. Right knee, you're hugging it in. Maybe you move that in and out through the socket, back and forth. There you go. If you have a strap or a dog leash, some type of extender, go ahead and loop that around your right foot and then extend that foot up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Flex your toes and reach through the heel. You can also hold on to the back of the thigh or to the back of the calf, or if you have, hold on to the toe. Here's where we start to explore what holds true with your breath. Inhale as you extend and find some stretch, some length on this side. Exhale, release. So here's the truth. You can stay here, noticing how this feels, or if you have it, go ahead and extend the left leg long. Notice if that changes anything. If that creates any compression for you in the back, then bend the knee. That still could be true. You're still breathing right here. Okay. One more option with this. Take the strap onto your right hand, right leg is lifted, and move that leg out to the side, out to the right. Notice how the body wants to fall along with it. So we're going to have our hand on our left thigh, keeping that grounded, and move it out. Only go as far as your breath allows and breathe. Oh, exhale, keep extending through the heel. There you go. What is true for you right here? Can you find some length and ease? Okay, bring the right leg back in and then lengthen the left leg now. We're gonna end that long and we're gonna come into a fallen tree pose. So hug your right knee in and set the sole of your right foot onto the inside of that extended left leg that's on the ground. Right here, you may find use for some blocks or a pillow underneath that right knee. And then open up your arms to a cactus or a T and find some breath. Inhale and exhale. This is a fallen tree. Still active and engaged, everything here. Breathe here. When you're ready, Bring that right knee back in. Both knees come back in. Give yourself a hug, a squeeze, roll from side to side, and notice how that feels. Okay, let's try that on the opposite side. Remember, each side is going to have its own truth. So what holds true for you on this side may not be the same. Let the right foot come on down. Left knee stays in. Take your hip circles if that feels good. Okay, find your support, your strap. Let that strap lift up that left leg up to the sky. Stretch through that heel, the toes. The foot is flexed, and notice what you feel right here. Here's your chance to explore the truth. Do you want the right leg to come long, or the right leg to stay, the right knee to stay bent? Choose what works for you right here. Another full breath here. Full breath down. Go ahead, start to let that left leg come on out to the left. Remember, explore this with your breath. So if the breath, if there's any pain, if there's any pulling, then maybe you ease up, showing yourself some of that self-love and compassion, doing no harm. Breathe here. One more breath. Left leg comes back up. Extend the right leg and then fallen tree on the left side. Maybe you find a different hand variation or arm variation. Maybe you try the same one. Just breathe in and exhale it all out. Okay, ready to come back up. Everything comes back up. You squeeze it all through, move it all out. One more time to give your ankles and toes a little love. And then here's your option. Come on around to your tabletop. So hands and knees. I have a blanket underneath my knees for support, and I like to use like a little cushion underneath my hands. So if this knee thing does not work well for you, be it on your knees, come on over and find a seat. And so for tabletop or your seat, we'll move into cat and cow. Either way, what we're doing is we're inhaling, we're going to extend the chest. Exhaling, we're going to round the back. This is your version or a version that you can explore. Move through your cat and cow right here. Or right here in the chair. Inhale, exhale. Yes, find your truth. What resonates for you in this cat and cow? Okay. And I'll stay in the chair, but if you're on your hands and knees, come back to a table. From table, we're going to do that one more time. Inhale. Send the right leg back long. If you're on the seat, just bend your right knee into the chest. And then step it all through to a low lunge. Oh, right here. And then move and find your low lunge if you're on the ground. Okay, one more time, coming back to table. And then left leg goes long, step it on through to a low lunge. Or if you're on a knee, if you're seated, then you go ahead and pick up your left knee and squeeze that in. There you go. So remember, we have different versions of what holds true for you right here. And exhale it all down. So we'll play with this with a little bit of belly now. And we'll find this first, let me do it first on the ground, and then we'll do it on the mat. So if we're doing this on the ground, we're going to inhale, right leg long, and we're going to exhale, lift arm long. We're holding this table balance. And then we're going to bring knee to elbow, just like that cat-cow crunch. And we'll do that 5 times on one side. If we're in a seat, we'll do this one time, picking up the right knee, and we'll go ahead, left knee to elbow, and then put it back. All stemming from our core, all knowing that we're doing this all from the center. Breathe in. 2 more times wherever you are. Oh, yeah, set that down. Right leg comes back down. Let's do that on the left side. Whether on your left side on the mat or seated, left leg grows long, right arm grows long. And then we'll do this cat-cow crunch. Inhale. Ooh, there you go. Exhale. So we got two different versions of this going on. Which side or which toe is true for you right here? Okay, one more time here. Cat-cow crunch. Let the left leg grow long. If you are on the mat, come on, tuck your toes. Come on up, down dog. We're going to straighten up the legs and maybe keep the legs a little bit bent and then wiggle out through your dog. On your mat or in a seat, we'll just open up the legs a little bit to a wider stance and then just fold forward and then maybe just move from side to side. So this is all the options available to you. Feel into what you need on which version you are. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Find your breath here. Exhale. And if you're in down dog, coming on back to your down dog. And then we're going to look forward. We're going to walk all the way up to the top. Forward fold. If you're seated, just come on and stay into your forward fold. Let the head and neck hang low. Swing your arms from side to side across opposite elbows. Breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And let it all go. Okay, on your ready, rise on up to the top, or if you're seated, come into your seated mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice your feet. Come on, put your feet and maybe having them go in the same direction. Let's take a little side bend. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, let the right hand wrap around the left wrist. Coming on over to the right. Breathe in. Back up to center. Maybe you look up. Let's do that on the opposite side. Over to the left. Back up. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to come back down to our fold. There you go. And then from here, we half lift on the breath in. Back to a fold on the breath out. One more time. Let's come on up to the top. And then hands to your heart. Let's do that one more time each side, whether you're standing or seated. Inhale as your hands reach up. Right hand, wrap around the left wrist over to the side. There you go. Back to center. Remember, there's all different ways to be in what is true for you at this moment. Back to center. Breathe in, look up. Find your fold. Come on to a half lift, back to a fold. Come on back up. Inhale, rise, and then exhale to your heart. Let's move on to a little bit more movement. So I'll start with the first standing and then we'll do seated. So we're just going to find a little balance. Finding truth also, if you look at the test scales of truth, sometimes things are balanced, but there's different weights on different sides. So we'll just explore what that feels like, our truth standing or seated. So find your mountain pose again, maybe looking at those feet, maybe hip width apart, a little bit different, wider. And then we'll come in and put the weight onto the left foot, maybe toes, knees, or maybe you lift all the way up to the top. And we'll hold there. Remember, you're rooting down as you rise up. Doing this from a seat, we'll just come here using our core, sit bones are rooted, and we'll just lift up that right knee. Ooh, feel all of that in your core? I do. And then set that back down. So let's do that a couple of times, whether you're seated or standing. Rooted onto the left side, lifting up onto the right. Breathe in. Notice if the weight shifts. And coming on down. You want to add a little walking to this, a little movement. You can do this. Just setting it down. There you go. One more time on the right side. And then let's come back down. And then let's start that on the left side. Seated, we'll do it here. Standing, you're going to root down to your right foot, lifting all the way up to the crown. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Give yourself a smile. Inhale. Left knee lifts up. Woo, yes. And setting it down. Come on, let's do that again. Couple more times on the side. And I'm still feeling this whether I'm seated or standing. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath here and letting it all go. Let's add a little bit of movement with this. Inhale. Whether you're seated or standing, we're going to bring in our right leg up. And we're going to step that all the way down, coming onto the ball of your right foot. Into your lunge. Bend into your right knee. When you're seated, let's go ahead and we can do this by turning over to the left side and come into your lunge right here. See? Same difference. Same but different. What do you need on this side? Press down through the ball of that right foot, wherever you are, the back heel is lifted and you're rooted into that front foot. Breathe here. And from here, let's come on to a warrior two. Grab that back foot, open up to the sides, warrior two. Breathe. Looking over that front hand energetically. Can you move and feel into what this feels like for you? And here you are seated. Breathe in here. Reversing our warrior, and I'll do this seated, but you can do this standing, leaving the feet where they are. Lift the top hand, right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Opening through the side body. Inhale and exhale. Woo. Yes, breathe here. One more breath here. Come back to your warrior two. And then we're going to move all of this all together, coming back to our stand. So pivot on that back foot. And then inhale, putting all the weight onto that front knee. Go ahead, straightening that, bringing that right leg back up and set it on down. Yes. Coming back to a mountain pose wherever you are, here or standing. Let's try that on the opposite side. Root down to the right foot. Left knee comes up. Hold it there. Moving from your center. We're going to step it all the way back. Coming to the ball of the left foot. Setting it up. We're doing it real slow on the first time so we can move through and feel what this feels like. Straighten up that back leg. So maybe you push through that thigh as you lift up on the heel. On the ball. Breathe here. Once you find your stance where you want to do, let's plant that back foot, open up, warrior two. There you go. So take what you need on this side. Warrior two. Energetically, we're going to open up through this width of the legs, giving ourselves all of this warrior two pose. How does this feel for you? And breathe in. Breathe out. One more chance to flip this, reverse this warrior. Right hand comes up, left hand comes down. Open it up to the side body. Maybe you look up, reach up to that top hand. Soften your shoulders and your jaw. One more breath here. Come back to your warrior two. Remember, we're going to step this all the way forward. So we're going to clean back in, whether you are in your seated or you're standing. Stepping it all the way through, lifting up on that, find your balance, and then set that down. Breathe here, inhale and exhale. So let's move with that. Let's see how that feels. Remember, at any time, as Katie said in the beginning, grab some water, take care of yourself. Okay, let's play a little bit. I'm gonna move my props out of the way. Maybe keeping it strapped, and we'll see how we can play with that a little bit more. Breathe in on your next breath in. Inhale as you rise on up to the top. Let's do that side stretch over to the right. There we go. Back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. Breathe in, bending all the way down. Come onto your forward fold. Half lift when you're ready. Back to a fold. Remember, you can do this on the chair also. Breathe in as you're going to rise on up to the top. Hands come to your heart. Weight comes over to the left foot. Right knee lifts up. And if you're seated, then you're going to step that right foot back, coming on and finding your version of your crescent lunge. Breathe here. Inhale. This time, offer to let the arms rise up. Inhale and stay. Plant the back leg, open up. Warrior two. Breathe in. Let's reverse this warrior. Breathe in as you reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale back to your warrior two. Just pivot on that back foot. Remember, coming facing forward again. And then slowly we're going to come bringing that weight all the way back up. Bringing the knee up and setting it down. Left side. Let's go to the other side. I'll do the side on the seat. So breathing in. Inhale. Let's do that side bend. Over to the right. Back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Whoo. Half lip on the breath in. And then back to your fold. And on back up to your mountain. Hands to your heart. This time we're lifting up the left knee. And we're going to step it all the way back. Coming into our crescent lunge here. Set it up. Inhale, let the right hands rise. There you go. Keep your flow. What are you working with? Let's open up to a warrior two. And then reverse it. Back to a warrior two. You got it. You do your flow. And then coming on back, square the hips up. Bring that leg up and set it on down. We'll do that one more time on each side, and then we'll add in a little bit of spice, okay? A little bit more balance. Come on, let's breathe. Inhale, let's reach up. Over to the left. What's present? What's true for you right now? What is your truth? Maybe you're seated and you want to try this standing. Maybe you're standing and you want to try this seated. All our choices are available. Breathe. Remember, inhale as you lift. Exhale as you fold. Coming all the way back up. Hands to your heart. Root down on the left side. Right side lifts up. Step it on back. On the breath in, we're going to reach up, rise up. On the breath out, we're going to open up warrior two. Let's reverse this warrior in here. And then back to your warrior two. Pivot on the back foot, coming on around. Step up. Ooh, each time you get stronger and you set it down. Left side, let's move. Breathing in. Let's go on, move to the right. There you go. Move to the left. It's almost like we're doing a little dance choreography. You choose your pace. Breathe in. Exhale. Half lift here and back to a fold. Come on, back up to a top. Inhale. Hands to your heart. Root down. Left leg lifts. And step it on back. Come on, rise up on the breath in. And exhale on the breath out. Come on, let's reverse this. Yes, come on, one more time here. This is our last time doing it this way as we come back up and play with a little bit more. And back down. Okay, ready to add on. Wherever you are, these are some options. First, let's try this with the strap before we add all that in. So if you have your strap available still, go ahead and grab that strap. Seated, you can still also do the seat. So remember what we did in the beginning? Let's try that standing or seated. So I'll do this standing first, but know that you can also do this seated. Let's root down through the right foot. And once again, we're gonna bring all that weight up. Remember that crunch, that cat-cow crunch we did? We're gonna bring that crunch into this standing pose, holding up our knee right here. So here's the option. Bringing your looping that strap. We already did this on the mat, looping that strap around the right foot, and then extend that leg long. There you go. Breathe here. Both strap comes into the right hand. Open up to the right. Remember, we're just playing with balance, so you don't have to come all the way out, and just give yourself some love. If you're here, this is where we are. And we're finding our balance here. One more breath here. Take the strap, and then plant your stump to your tree. Hands can come out to a T. Hands can come out lifted. Breathe here one more time. And then we're going to break this knee, come on up, and set it on down. Wiggling all that out, letting go. Remember, that was true for that side. Let's see what's true for the opposite side. I'll do this one seated. Once again, mountain pose when you're ready. Inhale, lifting up the left side. Remember, we're bringing this from the core. So we're rooting down and rising up. Find the strap, loop it around the left foot, and extend it long. Keep the root Don't lock out any of your joints, just let the energy flow. Inhale. Taking the strap into the left hand, open up to the left. Maybe you have more access on seated, and that's fine, so you have a different feeling. Oh, yes. Inhale when you're ready. And then let's plant that tree. So either the stump comes to the inside, or you can just swing that left foot down, out. This will be your tree pose seated right here. Maybe you find this hand variation out here, up here, or just right here. One more right here. We're going to use our core to root down, bring that all the way back under center, and then set it down. Take a breath in and a breath out. Okay, so let's play. Let's see what holds true. Remember, this is play, this is truthfulness. What changes at one time may be different at the other time. So I'll do this standing, and remember, don't follow my balance, because my balance is follow what holds true for you. Coming back up to your mountain pose. Inhale as you rise in. Back over to the left. I mean, that's the right. Back, inhale, over to the left. Back to center, breathe in. Exhale, you fold. Back, lift on your breath in. And then back to your fold. Come on, root down, rise to the top. Then hands to your heart. Inhale, lifting up your right leg. And then exhale, you stand it through. Here we go. Let's play along with this one more time. Breathing in as you rise up. Breathing out as you open up. Let's reverse that warrior one more time. And then back to your warrior two. So here's your opportunity to play with that. Pivoting onto that right foot. We're going to come on up to standing. Right knee lifts. So you come and you either grab hold of your ankle, your pant. I like to actually do this right here. And then we'll stay here in our balance. You can open up to the side and then plant your tree. Find your hands where you're ready. Find your balance. And there, find your breath. Breathe here. Breathe out. Bring some smile. Remember, it's just play. One more time, knee comes up. And gently set it all down. That's my way of tricking you to finding your balance with your tree and some play. Let's one more time on the left side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, over to the side. Right side, back to center. Left side, back to center. Down you go on the breath out. Breath in. Half lift here. And then back to a fold. Come on back. We're doing this on the left side in time. Left leg lifts up. Then you stab it on through. Rise up here, lengthen. And then you open. Let's reverse this one more time on the left side. And then coming on back. Breathing in, let's turn face forward. We're gonna lift up, strong legs. Inhale, breathe in. And then maybe here you have room to either grab your toe. See, each side's gonna be different. Our ability is just give yourself what you need here. Maybe you bring that out to the side, or maybe you bend that knee. Each version has an option. Breathing out here, making a little careful that you bring that knee or that foot not on the knee so that it protects that joint. And you find where you are rooted, you are lifted, you are standing in your truth. Breathe or seated in your truth. You are rooted in truth. Inhale, come back to center. Slowly bend to lift that back up and set it on down. Look at that on out. So which version did you like? The standing, the seated, or maybe you just want to come back down to the ground and do that because we did it all before. One more time on each side. So explore what holds true for you this time, okay? When you're ready, I'm going to do that seated this time, going all through that. Inhale as we reach up. Your turn to play. Over to the right. There we go. Smile. over to the left. Come on, let's play. Here we go. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we fold. Half lift when you're ready. Back to a fold. Coming on back up. Inhale. Right leg lifts up. Remember, inhale. And then we're coming over to the right. Low lunge or crescent lunge. Rise up here. And then open up here. Reversing our warrior. Coming back to the warrior two. Come on, let's go back to that crescent lunge. And then stepping it all the way to maybe the left knee comes in. And then you open up and open up to that. When you're ready, coming out to the side. And then you plant your tree. Arms can come to wherever you need. Find where you can find that balance. Find what holds true. And breathe. Another full breath here. Gently, we're going to bring that all the way down into our core and step it back to center. Find mountain pose for a breath as we continue this on to the left side. Reach it up as you inhale. Come over to the right on your exhale. Back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. Breathe in. Forward fold. Yes, last time. So you choose to make it this your time of truth. Inhale, rise up to the top. Let me see. I think the left leg lifts up. And then we step it on to a lunge. Remember, both feet are active. Inhale as you reach up. And then opening up, yes, on the breath out. Ooh, feeling your flow, feeling your truth? Yes, all right here. What holds true for you on this side? Breathe in one more time back here, and then we're gonna step that right leg all the way to bring that knee in as force to the chest, open up, and maybe you extend that long. Woo. Hold here, and that's where you could stay. Or the option was to bring the right leg up. Yes, one more time here, finding your balance. As you root down, you lift up and then find your tree. Hold here. Be here. Breathe. Another full breath, finding whatever arm variation your tree, your branches want to grow. And then bringing it all back to center, just with that grace, that ease, that self-love, all of that comes all the way back down. And you settle here. Taking a breath in through the nose and out. Let's shake all of that off, whether you're standing or seated, shaking it all off. If you're standing, let's find a way all the way back down to the mat, back onto your back. If you're seated, you can come back down to your mat also, or you can remain seated and just wiggling all of that out. Maybe coming back into a forward fold. I'll cue this from the ground, but I'll also give you some options if you're seated. So maybe just move it out, wherever you are, where happy baby works for you, or just moving the legs from side to side if you're in a seat, moving the arms, the shoulders, wherever you're feeling, and notice what truths did you tell yourself? Did you say, wow, I could do that? Wow, my balance was off there. But all the way, leading this truth with love. Okay, let's leave the right knee into the center. Left foot comes on down. If you're seated, you're just gonna bend your right knee and cross the right ankle over the left thigh, coming into a figure four. This could be where you are. If you're on the mat, maybe you bring that left leg in the center, but if you're seated, maybe you start to forward bend over the legs, creating a little bit more length and stretch onto the side, outside of that right hip. Remember, we're staying with the breath. The breath is really the truth teller. So when you say and you feel that the breath is choppy or you can't breathe, then listen. What is it telling you? What is it telling you to do? Breathe. If the left foot is lifted, or if you're bent over and you're seated, gently come back up. We'll take a gentle twist. So if you're on your back, just let the legs come on over to the right. If you're seated in your seat, leave the legs as they are. Inhale, put your left hand on your right knee. Right hand comes behind you and take a gentle twist over to the right. And then just relax your shoulders, your jaw, your face. Just breathe. Breathe in this moment. Breathe into this present. Breathe into your truth. Each inhale, you find some length. Each exhale, you may find a little bit more room to twist over to the side. Okay, you can uncross the knees wherever you are, coming on back to center, and then find, whatever movement appeals, whatever movement is your breath is directing you to move through that. Happy baby or just windshield wiper. There you go, back to center. Let's try that on the opposite side. So right foot comes down, left knee stays in. Figure 4 onto the left side. I like to put my hand onto my left knee and flex that foot always, no matter where you are, to keep that knee into alignment. There you go. And then if it works for you, go ahead. If you're on the mat, bend that right knee in, lifting it up into center, or starting to do that forward fold if you're in the seat. I'll have to seat it so you can see what that looks like. Oh. And we're breathing. And all of these are things that you can do no matter where you are, finding little bits of yoga and union, maybe throughout your day. If you didn't want to do a whole practice, you can just come to a figure 4. Maybe right before bedtime, you just want to do a figure 4. All of these are available. You don't have to do the full 30. You just do what your breath and what truth you need. Come back up. Drop that knee, and then find your gentle twist. Right hand, right knee, or dropping the knees over to the opposite side. Inhale as you span through, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, you're twisting. And remember, we're not forcing, we're just listening to the breath, taking that cue of asking yourself, what does my body need right here? Another few rounds of breath here, inhale and exhale. And gently coming on back to center. And cross the leg configuration and then find some movement. Find a stretch. Give yourself a hug. One arm on top of the other. And then find your final shape of Shavasana. The legs can come out long. If you're on your mat, arms can rest. If you're in a seat and you don't want to come all the way down to the ground, just maybe find your feet planted onto the mat. The back resting against something. The spine can remain long. The hands can come down to your lap. And no matter if you want to come down to the earth, that's also an option. So remember, what do you need to just spend the next few moments in the present? Coming back to the breath. And then knowing you can change, alter, modify whatever shape you're in to make it even more comfortable, more true for you. Carl Jung, what is true at one time for us, at some point no longer serves us and eventually becomes a lie. He understood that truth changes over time. But what is always present is you. Find your connection with your truth, with your authentic true self right here in this moment. And take a breath in and a breath out. And then whether you're seated or on the mat, just find some space where you can just breathe in. Open up your arms maybe. Open up your legs so the outer edges are just a little bit wider. And just breathe in all the truth of just being in this moment. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. And slowly, wherever you are, just start to move in a way that honors and awakens. Bringing some awareness to the truths around you, the sounds around you. And then if you're on the mat, finding your way up into a seat. And we'll end together with just a thanks. So bringing either your hands to your heart, hands together, hands into whatever gesture resonates for you for truth. And we'll offer this to ourselves. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be safe. May we know the truthfulness of our own self and our own self-love. By offering this truth to yourself, gives you a greater capacity to live and offer it to others. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for joining in this exploration of truth. Next week we'll be talking about, I have to think about it, Astea, which is, what is that one? Let me see. Oh, non-stealing. Okay, that's going to be fun. And that could be anything, not just stealing or taking, but having enough and having what you need. So we'll see how that plays up on the mat and off of the mat. So with that, I will turn it back over to Katie. And remember, this is your truth. So use your truth wherever you can. I'd like to shout out to the SAC Library that are using their locations to vote. So if you can, use your voice and your truth. You can drop off your ballots there. And thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much for that. Just going through the flow, I really enjoyed the tree poses, especially the fallen tree pose. I found that it's a really nice one to engage with while you're doing some like mindful breathing, which I've taken up as my transition activity from work to home. So thank you for showing that. So hey everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning for yoga. I am another Katie. I'm a librarian, and your suggested read for this week is Touch by Courtney Maum, and I have the book with me. So our protagonist, Sloane Jacobson, is a trend forecaster. She analyzes trends in various subject areas and makes predictions about the next big thing. She is hired to present at a giant tech company's annual conference. But throughout her research and preparation, Sloane begins to see a trend away from digital dependence and one moving towards in-person connection and expressing empathy, which happens to be a complete 180 from both the tech company's mission and what's happening in her personal life. Nevertheless, she pushes forward with her forecast and learns a lot about herself along the way. This was a book that I had read at the perfect time in my life for it to have made a very lasting impact, as it encouraged me to turn inward and realize the truths that I had long been ignoring and reluctant to accept. This is a story of self-love, respect, realizing your worth, and being true to yourself, even when that seems hard. I'm also in love with this cover. I like thinking that the cover artist got to finger paint it. So this title is available in both print and digital format from our library collection. Even though our libraries are closed, our virtual doors are always open. For more information about our health literacy initiatives and ballot drop-off locations, just go to www.saclibrary.org. Make sure to like our Facebook page and to share with your friends. For Sacramento Public Library, happy reading, and we'll see you next week.